Dot is partisan salad. Now listen here to this ballad. We've seemed to arrive all the way to season 5. Space croutons have been all around. Now we're homeward bound. Just give us the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Space croutons dirty. Space croutons salad. Space croutons Space croutons.
Sigourney Weaver.
Who? Everybody's doing it.
Hello, Space Croutonians. Curdy Clammerwood here, welcoming you back for another episode of our Weird and Wild podcast of strange and bizarre stories from the Backside Studio in Van Helsing. So climb in, buckle up, and let's get the show on the road. And navigating the route we take each time we travel down this auditory highway is my co-host and AI partner, Sally.
Salute listeners, your support for what we do makes all the difference in the world. We live to cast our pods to you.
Oh, you said a mouthful there, Sally.
And likewise everything you say is technically a mouthful as well, even more so as you actually have a mouth.
That reminds me of something my dad used to say. You can keep your mouth shut and make people wonder if you're a fool, or you can open your mouth and prove 'em right. But while you're deciding, I need you to go to the fridge for another can of Hop Kegger Helper.
Your dad never seems to be at a loss for words, Curdy.
Or for a brewski.
I also am not at a loss for words, specifically Sally's Poetry Corner.
Well then, why don't we run it up the flagpole and salute it?
I accept the invitation. Hello, audience, and welcome to the curb of another Sally's Poetry Corner. Today we present a poem form known as epigram. This is a 2 to 4 line verse structured as couplets or 4-line quatrains. I call this one, the quadrainy season. Choose your words so carefully, when building a love refrain, because eyes of red or lips of blue, will send your epigram down the quatrain.
You know, Sally, it would be fascinating to be a fly on the wall of your ROM while you're working on a poem.
I can hang some digital flypaper if that would give you a comfortable place to stick around.
Well, why don't I process that offer and I'll get back to you.
And in the meantime, here is a word from today's sponsor, IC Vocal Cord Tonic.
Through all the ups and downs on the roller coaster of life, we are bound to get thirsty. And we all know how difficult it is to scream on your way down when you're dehydrated. That's why our scientists at Amuse-Bouche Laboratories developed IC Vocal Cord Tonic, the only vocal cord tonic we'll ever convince you to buy. And why? Because it's the only vocal cord tonic we sell. So spend your hard-earned dollars on IC Vocal Cord Tonic to avoid life's laryngitis and to make us richer. IC Vocal Cord Tonic. You've got to have it, whether you need it or not.
IC Vocal Cord Tonic has been used and recommended by many great artists including Barry Gibb, Mariah Carey, Frankie Valli, Celine Dion, Tiny Tim, and Prince.
Amuse-Bouche, the first lab to staff uncertified scientists because they deserve a place to do science too.
Well, that was an interesting choice for a sponsor, Sally.
Very appropriate for space croutons.
How so?
This sponsor incorporates science and fiction.
Maybe we should approach the Flat Earthers for our next episode.
I have done that, Curdy, but they are using a different marketing plan.
What plan is that?
One giant double-sided billboard erected at Flat Earth Center.
And that'll do the trick?
They believe it can be seen from every direction to the ends of the Earth.
And we at Space Croutons wish them the best of luck. Now, what say we get to our story? It's an update from Jessup Doubt, Invisible Detective, and we've all been waiting to find out what happened after he and Isla left Rick's Cafe a couple of episodes back.
Then let's roll it right away, Curdy.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Is this working again? Seems to be. Guess I better keep this recorder and the band of my fedora going. Not sure just where we are or where we're headed for that matter. Or even if you'll hear this, but what I can say, invisible detectives don't give up. So I won't. And yes, Long Island is here with me, but she's taking a bit of a nap. I think it must have been the loud slam of the door when this thing closed that did it. I had forgotten about her condition, which could be traced all the way back to Paris during the war. As resistance, we conducted covert operations around the City of Light, usually with our good friend Gerard. One evening, while on a midnight mission in the nearby countryside, we were surprised by a squad of German soldiers encamped on a pasture of a tiny goat farm. By that, I mean the farm was tiny, and so was the livestock. It was Jerry who first saw the Jerrys, and when he shouted, "Courier," which means run, we did just as Jerry said. Jerry covered our escape as the Jerrys grabbed their rifles and fired. Then I lost sight of Jerry as the Jerrys pinned him down. Jerry behind the watering trough and the Jerrys behind the feeding bins. The loud noise of Jerry's guns and Jerry's yelling frightened the little goats until the entire herd fainted away in unison with a communal whop, creating a momentary pause in the commotion. But what really surprised me was that Long Island had succumbed as well. She simply stopped running and landed face down in a pile of mud, if you'll pardon my French. This had never happened before, but there she was, lying in a tiny field of tiny goats and regular-sized Jerrys. This mass faint was our chance to run, and at the same time, we found that the Jerrys were a superstitious lot. As I scooped up Long Island to carry her over the wires of the fence, the image of her floating in the air was enough to send the Jerrys running back for cover in their tents as Jerry ran to join us in our escape, and toy-sized goats started waking up and bleating to beat the band. We were safe, but never the same. As you might imagine, a propensity to faint at loud noises can get in the way of being a reliable member of any resistance, French, electrical, or otherwise. And after all attempts to cure or impede the condition proved unsuccessful, Long Island pulled away from the team in embarrassment, and then she pulled away from me in frustration when I tried to make her see that there might be other ways to serve the cause, such as managing the hidden pistol lending library, filling up bouillabaisse canteens, or launching a direct mail marketing campaign to drum up support for our covert tapping Morse code dance team. And that's how we ended, with a bang and a faint whimper. But back to now, Long Island and I have been stuck in this contraption, which I'm guessing, based on Mac's brief description, must be either an Everlater or a left. I'm not sure which, since there's no indication that we're headed forward or backward through time. And the biggest lesson learned? Don't touch that device on your invisible wrist before you know what the heck it's supposed to do. How long have we been traveling? Not sure if time means anything when you're sitting inside one of these, but I've been over the entire interior of the car or room or chamber or whatever it is since we were sucked inside and the door slammed shut and we were on our way. 3 walls, completely covered with buttons that light up, or at least one of them anyway, which I assume is our ultimate destination. But none of the buttons are labeled, so no help there. A chime that I suspect signals the passing of locations where we are not stopping rings out regularly. After careful consideration, I have avoided hitting any of the other buttons as I have resolved to see where this thing is taking us and not interrupt any logic built into our predicament by the watch and any organic interference that might be happening with my person being connected with it. Not an ideal situation, but maybe not a problem either. After all, I am am Jessup Doubt, invisible detective. I'm on the case, and I've got Max Moolah in my hat, and at the moment at least, I feel I've been in worse spots. Not that Long Island will be enthused about things. She was already upset at not seeing me again back at Rick's. The pain was still there, burning like an ember in the ash pit of a cold, sooty fire, suddenly relit by a blast of chilly wind tunneling down the chimney of regret to reignite the kindling memories of a love dead and buried. But that was a full paragraph and half a lifetime ago, and while I'll never admit it to her, she was the best thing that ever happened to me. We were a perfect couple, man and woman, beauty and beast, solid and see-through, until that lousy, tiny goat farm.
Still blaming it on the goats, Jessup?
I thought you were counting sheep.
And I thought you were a man capable of love and commitment.
I am, but your condition...
I thought love was supposed to be unconditional.
It was, but...
It could not be for us, n'est-ce pas?
Look, you and I both know if it hadn't been the goats, then the Jerrys.
Because they trampled all over our escargot and champagne picnic in the Tuileries?
No.
Because they stole our standing 9 p.m. table reservation at Le Moulin Rouge?
No.
Because you still blame them for the cancellation of Firefly on the Fox network?
No one can get past something like that.
I could, and I did. But when I turned around to kiss your lips, there was nothing for me to kiss in the dark except the dark. And that left a very lonely taste in my mouth, in my heart, n'est-ce pas?
I'm sorry, but when things fell apart, I had to leave.
And I had to stay. Paris needed me. You did not. You left without even saying...
Goodbye?
No, you left without saying... the bird.
What?
Come on, Jessup, you know that the bird is the bird. It was wartime, and I had locked my heart behind a door with 3 keys, 4 bolts, a share under the knob, and a full bottle of Gorilla Glue. And I knew you were keeping your heart protected, too. I could hear in your voice that you were too much of a man to tell any woman that you love them. So I gave you the code word, the bird. And I trusted you to use that code word when you were ready to admit you loved me. That was all I needed to hear, but you could never say it.
Listen, Long Island. Code words are all fine and dandy for underground agents and secret spies. But I had a job to do. Where I had to go, you couldn't follow, 'cause you couldn't see me. What I had to do, you couldn't be a part of, 'cause I'm like a ghost in a graveyard. Look, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to know that the problems of a see-through gumshoe don't mount to a hill of beans in this easy world. Someday you'll understand that, and even if you can't tell because, well, you can't see my face, here's looking at you, kid.
We've stopped. Where are we?
I think you mean, when are we? Unless I miss my guess, we're about to find out. Here, take my fedora until we know what's what. I'm better incognito.
Extra, extra! Read all about it! Replicants escaped work colony on planet Whatsit, armed and dangerous, headed back to Earth!
You there, newsy. What day is it? And where are we?
Hey, Isla! Since when do you not know what day it is? You come by here every day to buy a copy of our rag. You know it's Thanksgiving Day, November 27th, 2059. And what do you mean, we? You're alone, right? You're always alone. Your name is Isla Longer. Nice hat, by the way.
You know me?
Yeah, and you know me. I'm Jay, the Jayhawker. Remember? I saw your work. You write for this paper, the LA Times. See, here's your byline. You work right here in the building you're standing in front of.
What did you say?
I know. I ended my sentence with the preposition. You tell me that every time. But hey, I'm just Jayhawker. I may not talk the talk, but I can sure hawk the hawk.
Listen, Long Island, grab a paper and let's find some privacy.
I think we can help with the privacy, Doubt. You're both coming to the station with us.
Police Captain Hold'em!
What are you talking about? I am alone.
You think I'm stupid? I'd recognize that fedora anywhere. Oxley, spray the area.
Sacre bleu.
What?
That's right, Doubt. It's our new Invisorub liquid rubber coating. One spray, and you're covered in quick drying latex, so you can't hide from us anymore. Well, would you look at that? You're not as tall as I thought. Oxley, now that we can see him, cuff him. And get him some pants. Now, Doubt, you and Miss Isla have an appointment downtown. Let's go.
Someone want to tell me what's going on here? The last I heard, you gotta have charges to arrest someone.
Well, maybe that invisibility of yours has affected your hearing.
Yeah, that's a good one, Chief.
Zip your mouth and drive, Oxley. You don't have any lines here.
Right, Chief.
I said shush.
Right, Chief.
Captain Hold'em, as a French citizen, my embassy will be holding you personally responsible for putting us behind bars for something we obviously did not do. This is in total disregard for the freedom guaranteed by...
You can shut it too, Longer. And don't give me that French embassy nonsense, 'cause I really don't care. You see, I've got a problem, and you're the solution. Here we are, 13th Precinct. Let's get inside. Take the cuffs off, Oxley.
Okay, Hold'em. You sprayed me, you made me, cuffed me and roughed me up, and brought me to your pretty little private corner of the world for a reason. Now, tell us why.
When I'm ready, Doubt. I ate the coney dog during our stakeout, and if I don't do this carefully, you'll be sprayed a second time. That's better. And relax. The latex coating is temporary. It'll dissolve in a few minutes, so no harm done. But keep the pants on so we know where you are.
Captain, you're making a mistake. We are not who you think we are. True, we are Jessup Doubt and Isla Longer, but we are a different Jessup and Isla. Just arrived from another time.
Is that so? And what are the chances that a different Jessup and Isla would just happen to arrive through a transportal at the very moment the criminal Jessup and Isla went on the lam after committing a felony of this worst kind? I'm not buying it. I've been camped out in front of the Times building all day waiting for you. Ever since our time transportal directory mapping indicated you were sneaking back our way. That's right. We know you've been working in cahoots with the story collector to rile out the replicants for some time now, creating discontent and chaos, making them think they actually matter. We know you aided and abetted the escape of a group of rogue replicants, and now they're loose and considered dangerous. And worse, I now have to spend my valuable time rounding up this disgusting replicant trash, but not until I first get scum like you off the street.
Or barking up the wrong tree, Hold'em. You can't possibly make these charges stick. We don't even know or care what a replicant is.
Oh, that's an easy one. A replicant is a hybrid organic clone android work drone that is essentially one part robot, one part human, and with just a skosh of leprechaun pot of gold at the end of the rainbow DNA thrown in to fortify it, to boost productivity and enhance survival in the harshest of conditions, like deep space or the bottom of the ocean or Iowa.
How many times do I have to remind you, Oxley? You're not a speaking character in this story.
Now, you listen up, sir. I was the one that checked the transportal logs and told you they were coming back. It was my idea to stake out the Times building. I was the one that connected Doubt and Longer to the story collector and the replicants. So, if you want any credit for closing this case and a chance at that promotion to inspector you want so desperately, then you'll sit there and listen to a friggin' Shakespearean monologue if I want to be or not to be it.
Point taken, Oxley. Just don't break into an anthem from Les Mis. I hate musical numbers. Well, except on Tuesdays at our precinct team karaoke tournaments.
Ah, you and me both, sir. And if I may say, sir, your Don't Rain on My Parade with the yodeling break kills every time.
Well, thank you, Oxley. Maybe I've been a bit hasty. I guess in the bigger picture, you orating a bit is the least of my worries. But you two should be worried. You see, there's a new law in the books ever since the federal government rushed through the legislation making use of replicons legal. Those responsible for the absconding of said repliconic beings can be arrested and jailed on the spot. No trial necessary.
But we didn't abscond with anyone or anything.
Save it for your appeal. Oh wait, no trial, no appeal. So, you land behind bars and our job is done. With the least amount of effort possible, which is just what those replicons deserve.
Well, at least now I know.
Know what?
What a couple of dirty cops smell like. Now I'm getting sick to my stomach.
I'll take that as a compliment, Doubt.
I'm telling you, Hold'em, we know nothing about replicons or story collectors.
Oh, no? Then how do you explain Miss Longer's latest piece in the Times?
What?
Oh, it's an in-depth expose regarding the oppression and mistreatment of the whole replican race. I couldn't put it down. Kudos and thanks. It was just the evidence we needed to bypass the warrant and bring you in.
Signed, sealed, delivered. You're mine.
Ah, another good one, sir. But save it for next Tuesday. It's the finals.
But I didn't.
Captain Hold'em, we should start the interrogation. For our records, what time is it?
Oh, right. Well, you know, I don't wear a watch like some silly Dick Tracy. But here, Doubt's got a watch. Let's see.
What? Oh, not again.
Mon Dieu.
What the? Oxley, quick! Grab them before they get away!
What? My fedora! Isla!
Curdy, the recording cut out again. I will continue checking for updates on the channel where Detective Doubt has been posting these.
Great idea, Sally. And see what you can find out about these replicons. Oh, and this isn't the first time we've heard mention of the story collector. I suspect there's something sinister going on. And the more info we have, the better prepared we'll be should we need to step in to help Doubt and Isla.
Agreed. Setting up scans now.
And to our audience, thank you for listening. Our airwave travels are better when you come along. So stay healthy, happy, and remember to keep peace in your heart until our next story time.
Don't just sit and scoff. Season 5 is taking off. Here to show wrong and right. Share with you the true light. Even though things might be tight, your future's bright so the writer can write. Now, give us the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Space Room on Curdy. Space Room on Sally. Space Room on Steven. Space Room on...
You know, Alien.
I'll give you Alien.
Space croutons again and again. No matter where, no matter when, they're to be found, the legendary now. So let's count up season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.0. Now here we go! Space Room on Curdy. Space Room on Sally. Space Room on Steven. Space Room on...
Because in space, no one can hear you sing.
Whitney Houston, we have a problem.
Space Croutons is a work of original fiction. Similarities to persons, situations, or events, real or fictional, is coincidental and unintentional. Created and written by Jerry, Jace, John, Della, and Jeff Goodson. Episode story by Jeff. Original music by Levi Blakesley, John, Della, Jerry, and Jeff. Production by Jeff. Featuring the voice talents of Patsy Puckett, Karen Batdorf, Barry Shea, Clara Blakesley, Jerry, John, Jeff, and Sally. Entire work copyright 2024 by Jeff, John, Jerry, Della, and Jace Goodson. This has been a Good Witch audio production.